Welcome to Self-Development Network. It's your guy, Bing. Thank you for tuning in once again. If this is not your first time watching my video, thank you. I really appreciate you for being there and supporting me. And if this is your first time, I hope that you watch this video to the end because it will help you out in the long run. Today's topic, we are going to cover how to crack the code to the universe. How do you crack the code to the matrix? Look more into yourself. Feel the force come from within instead of an external source. And what that does for you, it will help you manifest whatever you want, but it will also enlighten you. You will gain more knowledge. And the more knowledgeable that you become, the more easier it would be for you to maneuver through life. You can have knowledge of these things. Majority of us have knowledge of law of attraction, law of assumption, spirituality, however you want to put it. But if you're not using the knowledge correctly and applying the right principles to it, then it will not work for you and you will be stagnant and you will actually not be able to manifest everything you desire. So it's a difference with certain type of stagnation, because sometimes when you have stagnation, that is in the sense of you actually are getting what you want. You're getting everything that you've been working towards. Everything may seem haywire, but in all actuality, it will come to life because what you're doing, you're removing everything that is of old, everything that is of bad, so you can welcome in those new things. So stagnation is not a bad thing at all. It's just all about how you perceive what's going on around you. Looking within yourself for that internal source, that internal power, that will open the gates for you, because the biggest thing about looking within yourself, you get to know who you are spiritually. You get to know your physical, you get to know your emotions, you get to know every part about you. And that is the key to unlocking the code to the universe, how you crack this matrix. This matrix that we live in, it's an amazing place, but it can also be a very bad place for you as well if you do not apply things properly. You know, you get overwhelmed, you get depressed, you get attached, and you want to avoid those things while on your spiritual journey. Throughout your spiritual journey, you will hit milestones. Everybody's milestone will be different according to how they perceive reality. So as you're hitting these milestones, you become more enlightened as you go on, and you do not feel the same. You do not think the same. You do not carry yourself the same way anymore. So when you look to that internal source to be the power that you need to get anything you want, then you will start understanding more how special of a being that you have become. You know, you went from here to reach here, and it can happen in a short amount of time frame. It could take a long time. It just depends on you, how much work that you actually putting into yourself. So an example of an external source that a lot of people may use is like a crystal or something. Now, I'm not against crystals. I'm not against people using any type of thing to make them feel better or to make them feel as if it makes them worthy of having something. What I'm trying to make you understand is when you have these things, you put it on a pedestal and you look at it as, all right, if I have this, now I can accomplish what I really want. In all actuality, you don't even need that to accomplish what you want. If you look deep inside internally, when you have that full understanding that everything that you get and that you possess inside this reality comes from within here, all based on your thoughts and beliefs. So if you take that same power that you can put into a crystal and you can look for that same power within here, you have cracked the code. The way this thing is laid out for us, it's like a very basic surface level. Like, we are not taught how special we are as beings. We are not taught how easy it is to gain inspiration from within yourself. We are taught that we have to go outside of ourselves, taught that we have to look at other things other than ourselves, that we are not as special as we think we are. In all actuality, we really are. Like, every human being is a special individual. Like, everyone has God-given talents, God-given abilities. We all have God in us. That source of power that I'm talking about, reaching within, that is your inner God. When you start unlocking that inner God, that's when you will see how precious life really has become. That's when you really be able to manifest whatever you want. Although having material things is a wonderful accomplishment, the knowledge that you gain and that you can use to be fruitful to others is the greatest aspect to take from it. That's why I sit here and do my videos. I don't sit here and try to do my videos just because I want to be a famous YouTube influencer. No, I do it because I have knowledge that I can share back with the world. That's me giving back to the world. This is how I perceive myself, of lending a helping hand. So, I love nice things. I love all of the things that I'm able to accomplish using quantum physics, but I like explaining things more to help other people understand. Like, I can go a lot deeper into the things that I know and the things that I study, but I'm trying to walk with you guys along this path. Like, I can't just give you everything right off the rip, because then I'm gonna lose you. You got to meet people where they at. And once you meet them where they at and they have that understanding, where they actually had the knowing of what's going on, then you could start moving towards bigger goals with them. So, I like to talk about things like this, like, having that internal power, having that internal source. When you have the idea that the power within you is what brings everything to life, everything will get much easier. When you start believing that you're someone that has unlimited talents and unlimited beliefs and unlimited possibilities, you will take yourself to the next level, and you will bring people up with you without even knowing or without even trying. People will gravitate towards you because when they see you, they see a different type of light within inside you that they feel comfortable about. I'm not a life coach. I don't want to be anyone's life coach or anything, but if people have questions, they know they can come to me and ask me. I'm going to give you the answers. I'm going to give you my perception. I'm going to give you my hypothesis, but what you do with that information is up to you. Just like how whatever you learn throughout your life, the trials and tribulations that you've been through, you always supposed to learn something from it. If you keep taking certain steps and keep making the same mistakes over and over and over again, that means you haven't learned from what you've been going through. And the fact that you haven't learned from it is going to keep playing over and over and over again. Once you finally learn something, you can prevent it because you will approach situations differently. So getting in tune with that internal self and knowing that the power comes from within you, using the inner God power that you have, everything will flow instantly. And the biggest thing to take from it when I say that inner God power is what I mean by when you looking for that voice that is supposed to steer you to the right path, like, the promised land. That voice will come in the form of your voice. It's not going to come from another voice. If it's coming from another voice, then you're still looking to an external source. The idea of cracking the code to the universe is understanding that the power comes from within. Once you grasp that first, then everything else will start to follow. You will start getting more enlightened about the things that are going on in your life, the moving pieces, all the particles. You will start picturing and looking at things differently. You will start believing in yourself more than anything. When you believe in yourself, when you believe that power comes from within, trust me, you will see mountains move. You will be able to just think of something instantly and it will appear just like that. Walking on this spiritual journey, I've been able to manifest countless things. I've been able to reach a higher level of consciousness. Each time I reach a higher level of consciousness, it changes the way I think. It changes the way I perceive reality. And that's what you want. You want to always learn. If you feel there's any time that you stop learning anything, then you have a problem. Once you have that problem, you need to fix it. And the biggest way to fix that problem of feeling like you haven't learned anything is just by simply doing the work inside. The internal work will lead you to the promised land. So like actually sitting there meditating, actually sit there and reflect. I mean, like look into that mirror. like that mirror. When you ready to face yourself and you can point out all your flaws, you can point out everything that you lacking as far as like spiritual wise, like nothing of material value. I mean, like spiritual wise, like your inside belief system, when you can pull all those things out, those flaws about yourself and acknowledge it. And once you able to really come to those terms with yourself, you will be in a better place because it will be a lot easier to trust yourself. The whole key of looking into the internal source is to be able to trust yourself. Trust that you are the source of the power. Trust that you are the one bringing these things into life. It's the greatest gift to ever have. Knowledge of self is the greatest thing that you can have. Knowledge of self brings you wealth. It brings you good health. It just brings you great vibes all around. So I hope this video was very edifying. Continue to watch my videos. Continue to take these things and make them a priority in your life, because it will take you to that next level. You want to crack the code of the universe? Get internal. Get the power from within. The power from within is the greatest thing that you can have. Everything external is just vanity. It means nothing outside of your own self. Thank you for watching this video. This is Self-Development Network. I am your guy, Bing. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome to Self-Development Network. It's your guy, Bing. Thank you for tuning in once again. If this is your first time watching my video, watch it to the end. I guarantee you'll take away something very great from it. If this is not your first time, welcome back. I really appreciate you. Continue striving and continue to watch the videos. Continue to comment, like, and subscribe. I really appreciate you guys. Today's topic, we are going to cover how I manifested a sum of money using a certain writing technique. Now, this writing technique, all I did was just use the law of assumption and a series of questions of what I want. So how I came up with this idea, I've been listening to Neville Goddard a lot while at work, along with Stuart Wilde, and just understanding more about law of assumption and the infinite self from both of their teachings. And they really coexist with each other in a lot of ways, and also understanding how powerful a question is compared to a statement. Although statements are very powerful, but you just have to be in proper alignment when using statements. So I wanted to try it out with questions instead. When I came up with this idea for this technique, I was looking for a way to implement something new into my reality. And understanding that when you want to implement something new into your reality, it changes everything in your life all at once. So the questions I asked myself was very clear, direct, and intentional, so I can create that reality. So I asked myself, how much money do I make a year? How much money do I make a month? How many streams of income do I have? Where do I live? What kind of cars do I drive? What do I do in my spare time? And what was my greatest accomplishment? So I answered these questions in present tense, but in a higher form: making more money, living in a bigger place, driving a faster and better car, and also just doing different things that I'm doing right now. And I read it 3 times a night before I went to sleep. It started out with me just reading it and, visualizing through the mind's eye, and that was it. But scientifically, it was proven that if you repeat something 3 times a day for 21 days, and that's just the start of it implementing into your reality. And it really has. It's very true. I started out just reading it, and out of nowhere, one night I was making dinner, and I just said, I'm going to make dinner in my new house, in my brand new kitchen. And instantly, my mind's eye just started putting me in that reality. Like, every move that I made, I was watching myself in third person in a different place. And it was just very exciting. And ever since then, it has been nonstop. Like, I literally see myself in a third person in a different place all the time. And it's very amazing because it's just fun. It's fun. It's my imagination. It's the law of assumption. Like, who can tell me that it's not real? It's my imagination. It's my thoughts. But although my thoughts are going to lead me to what I want, exactly as long as I live in my mind's eye, I'm just enjoying the moment. At first, I was a little skeptical because, you don't want to be overzealous about your manifestations, or you don't want to actually like become too attached to these things. But when I really sit and reflect on it and not make any judgment, I just see how free I feel and how much of relief that it feels to just be able to live inside my head carefree. And you know, it's very amazing. It's very special. And I wouldn't trade it for anything else in the world. So the amount of money that I actually created throughout this process in the month of April was an extra $15,000 on top of what I make already on my job. And a lot of people ask me, why do I still continue to work a regular job even though I know how to manifest money and everything? And I just tell them simple, because I'm not where I want to be yet. And me working that regular job keeps me occupied. It keeps me away from being attached to the things that I want and desire. So, you know, it keeps me at a certain level of discipline to understand, like, hey, even though you want all these things to be in your reality, you still have responsibilities that you need to take care of. And now I'm not against 9-to-5 jobs at all. I just feel like, me personally, if you are working a 9-to-5 job, you have to benefit more from it than just a check. Like, your check can't be the only thing, because at some point, if the workload gets too heavy, your schedule is not fitting the way you want, you're going to feel like it's not worth it. So in this field of construction, it helps me visualize. If you cannot see it, then you cannot build it. Because if not, you wouldn't understand how to read a blueprint. You wouldn't understand how to, know what hardware you may need, or what power tools you may need, or either just the dimensions of whatever you're building. I do vertical concrete, so I build concrete structures. So it takes a lot to actually make those things happen, so me actually being out there and learning these things and learning how to put it together properly, it helps me in my personal life as well when it comes to manifesting what I want. When I actually am looking to manifest certain things, I just look at it as when I'm at work, like I read the blueprints, I look at the specs to see exactly what's going inside the concrete, how big it is, how high, how wide, all of these things. And it really helps me out in the personal life, because I apply those same principles. Like I set my intentions, I have a plan, and I carry out that plan. If it works, cool. If it doesn't, cool. I always remain neutral, because that's just the way life works. Like, as long as you remain neutral, you will be able to manifest whatever you want. Staying neutral keeps you away from being attached. You only have attachments when you feel like something is a loss. You feel like you're gonna lose it. Feel like you can't live without it if you don't have it. So that's why attachments are not good. Being able to manifest that amount of money in that little time period was amazing. Like, I literally started on April 2nd, and then by April 8th, which was the day of the eclipse, I got my first check. And then the next week I got another check. And then the next week I got another check. And then one day I just woke up with an extra $300 in my account. It didn't even say where it came from or nothing. It just showed me that I was really on the right path. So when you are very intentional and direct in what you want, you will be able to manifest, because manifestation is all about being clear. When you actually have the visual of the things you want and be clear of what you want, it will be easier to paint that picture when it actually comes time to start visualizing. So with me saying how much money I make a year, how much I make a month, how many streams of income do I have, that already takes care of the financial aspect. Okay, so now, where do you live? What kind of cars do you drive? Now that takes care of the living and transportation. So it's getting more clearer as the questions go on. Then, what do you do in your spare time? See, a lot of people would just think about, I want to manifest a certain amount of money. They have the amount they want, then they have where it comes from, but they don't have what else they would do in their spare time. Because if not, then you might just make that amount of money, but still be doing the same things you do now and not see it and do it unconsciously, So it's just all about being very clear and direct, living that imagination. The law of assumption is amazing. Like, it's fun. And that's how it should be. It should just be fun. Everything that I do now, I just see myself in third person and doing it. Like each activity, doesn't matter what it is, I see myself in third person, but in another place. If I go and scratch my head, I see myself scratching my head, wearing totally different clothes in a whole nother atmosphere. Like it's just amazing to just live inside your own head. Like it doesn't make you crazy, it doesn't make you weird. So go for it. Like why not? What do you have to lose? Like, what do you really have to lose? Like, let me know. Try out this technique. Take it for what it is. Just have fun with it. This is Self-Development Network. I am your guy, Bink. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome to Self-Development Network. It's your guy, Bink. Thank you for tuning in once again. I am very grateful to be here right now doing this and continue to watch these videos. Continue to like and subscribe and comment. Give me your feedback. All is welcome. We not going to even play today. We're going to cut right to the chase. And I really feel like this is something I got to get out. It's been on my spirit for a very long time. And it's time to just really get it out to the world. There's going to come a time in your spiritual journey when you will stop looking at yourself as a human body and start seeing yourself as energy. And that is a very special moment, because when that time comes, you will feel completely different. You will look at life completely different. You will analyze things and ponder on things very differently from before. The main thing that happens when you start looking at yourself as a source of energy, you will know to be cognitive of your thoughts and every decision you make. And you will not waste time doing anything else but making sure that you're walking the right path every day. The more and more you walk the right path, the easier it is to manifest whatever you want. It's that simple. It may sound cliche right now, but for those who are at that level, I know this will resonate with you a lot. When you start looking at yourself as a source of energy, you will really thrive, because you're not gonna sit there and waste countless energy on anything. You know, every action you make will be inspired action. You will find that inspiration from within yourself somewhere, somehow. You know, even if things do not look great or things are just bad all around, you will still have it in your head like, this is just a journey. This is a part of the journey. You know, I'm ascending to a higher level. I'm going to experience these bad things here and there, but it's not going to last forever because my energy is in the right spot. Very good way to align yourself with the proper energy is through meditation, grounding meditation, calming the body. Before you go to sleep at night, it is very important that you calm yourself every night. Even if you do not meditate, still calm yourself. Calm the body down, calm the nerves down, so that way you can regenerate all your energy. You can really take off and create miracles with this type of work. It's very important that you tune into this type of internal work, because everything comes from within. How you feel inside will reflect on the outside. Like, it's not a game, it's not a joke, it's real facts. Like, I'm really keeping it 1,000 with you. So like, when you really start grabbing that idea that your energy, your whole life will shift. Your whole life will change instantly, because you are doing the necessary steps every day. As long as you continue to take the necessary steps all the time, it has no choice but to materialize. So that's the greatest thing about when you look at yourself as a source of energy. The more and more you look at yourself as that energy, the easier it is to materialize the things you want, because you're doing nothing but internal work. And the little bit of action that you do put out is inspired action, and it's effective inspired action. You know, so that's something very important to keep in mind. During the spiritual journey, you will look at yourself as a source of energy at some point. Don't know when. I can't sit here and tell you it's gonna happen next week or next month, any of those things, but I'm telling you, at some point, you will grab that idea. There's going to be something that's going to happen to you. It does not have to be traumatic. It can actually be something good, or it can just be something really calm. You know, somebody say something to you while you're out, and it's just gonna give you that source of energy. It's gonna give you that mindset, like you're a source of energy. Once you instill that in your mindset, it's really up. And I say that because I reflect a lot. And when I reflect on the good things and the bad things that happen in my life. And I stay neutral through both. And when I look at these things, I understand my body language. I understand how I was spiritually, where I was financially, where I was emotionally and physically. I look at these things so I can gain knowledge and learn from it for the days to come. So when you realize that you're energy and not a human body, you will be able to materialize whatever you want. I can guarantee it. That's a fact. It will materialize. It will materialize. It is a fact. It is proven. All you gotta do is start doing that internal work and become that energy, and you will get everything you want. This is Self-Development Network. Thank you for tuning in with me once again. It's your guy, Bink. Until we meet again. Welcome to Self-Development Network. It's your guy, Bink. Thank you for tuning in once again. I'm very happy to be here with you right now. Thank you for rocking with me. Continue to watch the videos, like, comment, subscribe. Give me your feedback. Let's get into it, man. Today we are going to cover 3 universal laws that can help build your vibration instantly. And these 3 laws are just 3 of 12. Although all 12 really coexist with each other, these 3 really focuses on the inner work. You watch my videos, you know I'm all about inner work because how you feel inside reflects on the outside. In my opinion, the inner work is the most important thing during your journey because the more and more you build yourself internally, the external world will be marvelous. And that's the most beautiful thing about this life that we have. This world that we live in is amazing. The knowledge that is in this universe is amazing. And the best thing about this knowledge, there's always room for more. The more and more that you're open to learning new things, it will come to you. It will attract to you. And that's the whole point of me always doing videos about internal work. It's not to chase anything. It's not to go out there trying to go crazy and doing all sorts of extra nonsense just to make something happen, trying to, manifest matter with matter instead of energy with matter, So going to get right into it. The first law is the law of correspondence. As above, so below, like they say in the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. It's very great, man, because understanding how you feel inside really reflects on the outside. Every mood that you have throughout your day will reflect on the outside instantly. Let's say you wake up in the morning with a good spirit, good vibes. You go out there and you being nice to everyone, it's going to materialize right back to you with everybody showing you nothing but respect, everybody showing you nothing but good vibes. All of that will materialize right back to you. Now, on the other side, if you wake up having a bad day and you go out and you have a bad attitude, you're going to see nothing but chaos. It's all going to just come back to you. Whatever emotions, bad energy, good vibes, whatever you put out will come back to you because correspondence is all about how you feel on the inside. If you feel good, you will experience great. If you feel bad, you will experience chaos. It's just the way it works. It's just all about being mindful of these things. That one law alone will help guide you through many different conflicts. It will help you guide yourself through many difficult times. It will help guide you through many great times. Because when you have an understanding of, I did this right here, so I'm going to do it again because it made me feel a certain way. It made me feel good. I got a great experience from it. So keep repeating those steps over and over again until you master it, whatever it is. But whether you play an instrument, you play some type of sport, whatever it is, if you got good feedback from it from yourself and you felt good about it, keep doing it over and over again so that way you can perfect it. That's all about correspondence. How you feel on the inside will reflect on the outside. As above, so below. All right, so the next one is relativity, the law of relativity. Now, this one is very great to understand because it's all about your perspective. How you perceive your reality, how you perceive any type of hardship or anything that you're facing, like a bad situation, right? So majority of the time when we reflect on things, right, you will look at yourself, maybe first person, third person, you will look at the situation and how it turned out and notice how it made you feel. And it might be a little misconception in that feeling. Although you don't feel like it right then and there, you just reflecting on something that happened. Although you just reflecting on something that has happened in the past, you can pick up the energy from that depending on how you perceive that situation. There might be a time where you're just reflecting on something that has happened in the past and it might make you feel a way, right? But at the same time, all you gotta do is just change your perspective and your outlook on the situation. If you do that, instantly, that can't bother you no more. And it works just like that, like instantly. And, let's say if somebody says something bad to you and you watch yourself in third person, you look and you reflect on how that thing made you feel, and you notice how your facial expressions look, your body language look. If you notice all of those things, then you can correct it and you can look at it from a different perspective, and you could change the image of that situation. Although it could be the same situation, but you just change the image of that situation and look at it from a different angle, automatically you will change the whole thought process when it comes to that particular instance. Like literally, this really works. It may sound like BS, but no, it's not. It really works. Like, that is the law of relativity, how that thing relates to you in your world. If it relates to you in a good way, you will feel very good about it. You will be able to expand off of it. If it makes you feel in a bad way, then you will be able to expand bad things from it as well. That's just how it works. That's universal laws. Like, it's coming and going. It's instant. This is how this works. Like, let's just say you reflecting on something good that's happened in your life. Like, you got a big, large sum of money, you bought a new car, any of those things. Within the first minute of that thought, that will determine how you feel about that the next time you speak on it, right? So it works the same way on the other side of things. Now, let's say you reflect on something that makes you feel bad. Within that first minute, if you decide to feed into those bad emotions, the next time that thing spirals up in your life, it's going to be a rippling effect of bad emotions behind it, because that's already what your brain knows. That's already what the body knows from it, right? So it's always best to be cognitive of your thoughts and the decisions you make. So within the first minute of some exciting news or bad news will determine how it will affect you in the future. Okay, so that's the law of relativity. The last one is just like the law of relativity, the law of polarity. That's one of my favorite ones because it teaches you balance. Life is all about balance. It's all about understanding that everything has an opposite. Good, bad, hot, cold, all of these things have an opposite. When you understand that polarity, when you understand the polarity of life, it will get a lot easier, because it will be easier for you to sit back and be neutral in situations. Like, yes, it's okay to feel good. It's okay to feel bad, but it's very great to be neutral in every situation. If you're very neutral in every situation, there is very little chance of something affecting you if it was a bad situation to happen. Feel me? Like, if something, way out of ordinary happens to you, you're not sitting there and just looking all messed up behind it. People are not able to just read it all over your face. Like, you could be going through something right now, but if you remain neutral through it, you can come up out of it easily, because your attention and your focus is not there. You feel me? So it's like, when you understand those three laws, you will build your vibration instantly. The law of correspondence, relativity, and polarity. Those are my three favorites. Why? Because they all work on internal work. It works in here. I'm very big on internal work. The more internal work you do, the less physical you will have to do. I cannot stress that anymore. Like, thank you for watching this video. I hope you guys find this very edifying. Hope you guys really take this thing and, put into perspective and really get in tune with yourself. This is a very great place to be. When you have your focus in here, everything on the outside is just vanity. It's just vanity. When you are in tune with this, everything will materialize the way you want. It might not come in the time frame you want. It just depends on how much internal work you do. How good are you at, this thing called life? That's how effective your manifestations will be. So continue to watch the videos, continue to comment, like, subscribe. This is your guy, Bink. Thank you for tuning in once again. This is Self-Development Network.